As we pivot to the business side and the branding side, I have a real estate background, real estate podcast. There's so many guys that all want to stick out in the sea of things. They want to know how to build a brand, how to get out there. I have so many people that are like, dude, you're friends with the UFC fighter. Can you get me on Joe Rogan? And it's like, it doesn't work like that. But
Yeah.
you've managed to get like into all these doors and into all these places where people are just screaming hostage tape from the rooftop. So talk about building out that brand. So when it first started, because obviously people have good ideas all the time and they think they're going to put that good idea out and they're going to make $1 million as a brand and people are going to catch on.
Yep.
And it doesn't happen. What was different? How did you build this out? How did you wind up spreading this thing like wildfire? Did it start out slow? Was there like a catalyst? Like, talk about the evolution of how this became a household name.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Number one, look, we picked an amazing brand, Hostage Tape. It does not get better than Hostage Tape. So we lucked out there, right? I mean, I just had the balls to pick a word that most people would never touch, and I said, no, we can make it work. And then from there, it was very much like being an athlete every day, right? When you're an athlete every day, you go to practice day in and day out. You do the same stuff every day, right? Just like when you're a real estate agent, you go do the same stuff day in, day out, and you put your reps in. It's not always amazing. It's not always crappy. But you just got to keep doing it day after day after day after day. And that was the thing about this was we just had to keep going, keep pushing, keep going, and keep doing all the little things. And one of the things that I did very early on that I think most people are afraid to do, and you as realtors, you can probably relate to this more than most, is that you got to make the calls. You got to go do all the things and talk to people that most people are afraid to do. So what I did was I product seeded and I sent stuff. So I found people's addresses that you wouldn't be able to find. I found them, right? And I did it in a bunch of unique, interesting ways to try to find them, right? Because you can't Google and find certain people's addresses. And so I used other ways to figure that out. And then I would send product to them with a handwritten note. Okay. And that was actually one of the ways that I sent Joe Rogan. His first kit was I found it and I sent it to him. Okay. And among others that I sent to, but I just didn't stop. I kept going. I kept sending it to more and more and more people. And then all of a sudden, it started popping up on podcasts. People start talking about it. And then, when Joe Rogan talks about it and all these other guys start talking about it, all of a sudden, then poof, it creates this fire that then starts catching everywhere. So I got lucky also with that. Having Joe Rogan mention you organically on his pod that he uses your product, you won the lottery, right? It's a combination of luck and a combination of strategy, right? And look, you could have the most amazing brand ever and you could be doing everything right and you're never going to get Joe to mention you on his podcast. But for some reason, what I was doing and the brand resonated with him. I mean, he said it. He's like, I love Hostage Tape because it makes me laugh. He goes, I get it. I get the funness behind it, and I like that. And that's the kind of guy that I wanted to relate to. I wanted to relate to guys like him, like me, most of us guys like that. Like, we have a sense of humor, right? We don't take ourselves too seriously. And those are the guys I wanted to go after. But it's just this relentlessness of staying on it and keep going and keep going and keep going. And in many ways, you have a chip on your shoulder of like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care whoever doesn't believe in me, but I do. And I'm going to keep going.